Ann, can you hear me? No. I start a week from Tuesday at noon.
When?
A week from Tuesday at noon.
Okay.
It'll be Tuesdays at noon that are adding the noon class back. If you're lunch,
Right.
yeah, if you have a lunchtime.
Yeah, my schedule became summer's over.
Yeah. Studio has clean blankets. Yay. Yeah, all the blankets, they feel fluffy and smell better. You got a spot there?
Front row. I like your water bottle. Thank you. Yeah.
Good, how are you?
Hi.
There's John. What? Sorry.
So fun. I love it too.
Yeah, I think it's time. See, they can be my old key. I don't bring my keys up anymore. I used to, like, when some of you are late, I would throw the keys out the window, but I don't bring the keys up anymore. I got to remember to bring them in case we got to do a little toss down. Anything you want to do? Postures, body parts? Anything you want to mess with? No requests? Hmm?
Surrender to your wisdom.
I didn't hear you.
Surrender to your wisdom, Larry.
Okay. Okay. Woo. Woo. Just threw that right back at me. Holy shit. Flip the script. All right. Well, you know I'm going to come here with a little something, right? All right, let's play. I don't know, I'll kind of, you all know I tend to run through the hips. We get the whole complex, right? I don't know, we'll hone in on something. We'll kind of organically see where the class goes, and that's where we'll kind of take it. All right, take a nice seat. Close the eyes, sit up tall. Right? I tend to always say something like when we have one of those moments, like we've accomplished something, right? We've laughed a little bit. Like, you know, yoga is complete. You know, yeah, it gets serious sometimes. Of course, we all want to be good at the shit that we do, right? I get that. But at the same time, it's meant to be free, fun. You know challenge is part of it. We're moving our body, so of course there's going to be some kind of challenge. But you're supposed to enjoy your time on the mat, our asana, our movement. You know, in this, like today, in this space, we do it together. We work for each other. You know, what a special thing. You're willing to work for that person next to you. Some of those moments are going to be challenging. They're going to be hard. Just like some of them are going to be easy. And you got to honor those moments when they are a challenge. You take a breath, you set a foundation, you engage, and you express the best that you can. Just like those times that are a little easier or accessible. You don't just blow that off like, I'm going to hang out through this pose. It's still full on. It's just certain moves in our body are going to be a little more obtainable than others because of the tightness or the restrictions that we have. You know, for me, for some of us, we have injuries. But we play. And that's supposed to be the game. Here, we play in the breath. So you can listen to yourself breathe. Or you don't have to concentrate on your breath. It's subconscious. It happens. But it must mean something more than just drawing air in and out of our bodies, right? It's the one thing that you could count on from the moment that you were until the moment you'll be something else, your breath. We know in yoga we could use our breath to create a pace and a rhythm to our practice. We can use it to engage our bodies. We can use the inhale to lift and make space, and we can use the exhale to move into space. So from listening to yourself breathe, which is the first refinement, to slowing down the beginning of the inhale and pushing more on the end of the exhale. If it feels good to stay here, stay here. The next one might be counting out the breath. If the inhale's 2 or 3 seconds, make the exhale the same 2 or 3 seconds. So you create that balanced action. Maybe we find Ujjayi breath, where the air begins to rebound off the back of the throat. The breath turns to movement on the inhale, let the arms lift. And let the exhale bring the fingertips and the knuckle pads to root as the hands come into Anjali Mudra. We say that gesture draws our hearts out before us. Right? There's another one. What a special thing to draw your heart out for someone. And one time together, that play in the song of our voice, together the sound of Om. All together. Deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. Inhale, lift the head, open the eyes. Release the hands. All right, let's start out child's pose. So in child's pose, Toes, like big toe mounds are touching and knees are wide to the edges of the mat. Arms are up overhead. Pointer fingers are straight forward or turned out a little bit. We don't want the pointer fingers to turn in. That's going to peel the shoulder away. Now, this is a little more, we're going to activate this child's pose. So charge the legs a little bit by flicking your toenails into the floor, by hugging your shins into the midline a little bit. Pull your belly in, pull your shutters closed, so get the top of the abs to ignite. Now slide your forehead off the mat. You're going to start to feel the muscles in the back of the neck engage. You're going to start to feel those muscles in the upper back engage. We want that. Keep hugging the hands in. Keep the forearms lifting up. Keep the inner biceps lifting up, and then gently soften your chest down between your knees, and you're going to feel this little opener starting to come up the arms and the chest, the side bodies. And as you look forward, walk the hands to the right side of your mat. Then push your hands down and forward to root that left sit bone into the left heel, and then breathe up that left side body. QL is like just above the pelvis, low on your back on the outside. The spinal erectors are coming up, you're feeling them up that left side, up the left side of your spine. Lat, middle upper back, attaches to your humerus, your arm bone, you're feeling that. Intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs, you're feeling those. And then inhale, come back to center, soften down the middle. When you're ready, walk your hands to the left. This time you're going to root the right sit bone down to the right heel, and then you're going to start to breathe, working up that right side here. On an inhale, you're going to breathe like the right side of your ribs to like the right front corner of your mat. And you're going to get this big expansion. Then on the exhale, you're going to walk your hands to the left even more, and there's going to be this huge peel on the side of the ribs. Next inhale, come back to center, soften down the middle. Take a breath. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Yep, you can go front. Yeah, just a heads up, like in this area, you might hit the camera a little bit. So if you set up, here, we can move this too.
Sorry.
No problem. Now from all fours, hands an inch or two in front of our shoulders, knees an inch or two behind our hips. Start to hug in, right? You all know this, we're not hanging out. This is a pose. This is low mountain, right? You should be hugging muscle to bone. So hug the hands into the midline. Feel the forearms start to squeeze. Feel the biceps start to engage. Sweep the inner heels out because they're going to try to fall into the midline. Then hug the shins in. Pull your heels to your butt. Start to feel that those muscles coming up the legs into the hips. Pull your belly in. Pull your shutters closed. Now the core is nice and fired, and now breathe. Expand in all directions. When you're ready, cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back, lift the sit bones, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, round the back, look to your belly, lengthen those sit bones towards your heels. Your inhale, arch. Your exhale, round. Now, keep the breath linked up with the movement. So, if the inhale is 2 seconds, that's how long it's going to take to arch our back. If the exhale is 2 seconds, how long it's going to take to round into our back. That's where we start to get that rhythm. One more, and then come to a neutral position, so find that flat back. Low mountain, right? If I come up to Trina and try to move her, she goes nowhere, right? That's how much energy is hugging in here. Take a couple breaths. Then bring the right hand behind your head. Inhale, take the elbow to the sky. Exhale, take it across the eye of the elbow to the left side there. Yep, take the elbow to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, take it across your body. Let's do 5 on the right, and then we'll do 5 on the left. Remember the 2 or 3 second thing? Slow. It's easy to just real quick, right? Elbow to the sky across the body. That's not the move, right? That's not in tune with our breath. Let the breath dictate what your pace is going to be. Then after your 5, lower your right hand down. When you're ready, bring the left hand behind the head. As you draw the fingers in the head, you're pushing your head into your fingers. So you feel the muscles in the back of the neck start to engage. Then take the elbow to the sky, and then take it across. As the elbow goes to the sky, drive the left knee down into the floor so the hip doesn't peel up on you. Then after your 5, lower that left hand down. We'll meet back in those all fours. Build up that low mountain. Right arm up, left leg back, spinal balance. Thumb points up, toes point down. Only have your heel off the floor, maybe like 4 or 6 inches. If you lift the heel too high, you're going to overfire these low spinal erectors. We're not looking for that right now. Exhale, lower down, left arm up, right leg back. What we're looking for is extension out of the hip. Right? As easy as this shit seems, because we stand up, extension is really challenging for the hip. External rotation, easy. Abduction, that extension, tough. Exhale, lower, right arm up, left leg back. Thumb points up, toes point down. You're lifting from the inner edge of the forearm and the inner edge of the thigh. Exhale, lower, left arm up, right leg back. Now reach forward out of the fingertips and the crown of the head. Reach back out of your heel. Breathe side to side. Exhale, lower. Now put it with your breath. Inhale, right arm up, left leg back. Exhale, lower. Next inhale, left arm up, right leg back. Exhale, lower. Keep it going with your breath. But remember the 2 or 3 second thing. When you're kicking that leg back like you're trying to push through the back wall, like there's a leg press behind you, there's that good extension out of the hip. Now we started with right arm and left leg, finished with left arm and right leg, or whatever your side 2 was. We'll meet back in that low mountain. Take a breath here. Step back to plank. Shoulders are on top of your wrist crease, and you're reaching out of your heels. So if you're not sure, if you look up front, see how the heels are reaching back? We're in dorsiflexion. We don't want to be up here yet. That's chaturanga. And we definitely don't want to be all the way up here. That's plantar flexion. Now, keep that space. Lift the hips, coming to downward dog. So that'll be your distance now as we work through the vinyasa shortly, right? When we come forward to plank. We want this to measure up. If it doesn't measure, we're going to put it back in place, right? But you all know this shit that we're doing is hard. We're not trying to just do something and let it crumble, right? We're trying to do something and then build upon it. So first downward dog, keep hugging the hands in. Like we did earlier in puppy dog. We were a little less weight bearing, but keep the forearms lifting up, keep the inner biceps lifting up. You should feel your shoulders move out away from your neck as you do that action. Then pull the belly to the spine, charge those legs up. Now start to pedal the heels. So the right leg reaches down, the right heel, inhale it up. Left heel reaches down. Inhale it up, exhale into that right, and just keep working with your breath. But remember the 2 or 3 second thing. That's a challenge in itself to work with your breath. Come to a neutral position when you balance both sides out. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. So charge the legs up. You could stay low. You could come as high as you want. But shoulders go back, scapular retraction, and down, scapular depression. Then after your 3 breaths, lower the chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Now, if it's a little more accessible for you, you could always keep your knees bent in downward dog, right? It'll make it a little easier to work the upper body. The idea in the upper body is that we want to push the hands down and forward, like to the front of the room. And as we keep the forearms and the inner biceps lifting up, we're going to soften our chest back towards our toenails. And then you're going to feel this big opener come up the arms and the chest, through the side bodies. And then if you want to reach from the hip down the back of the legs, at the bottom of the heels, work through the legs in the pose. And next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. We're trying to we're overbalancing the upper back right now because it's been deficient, right? We're trying to get it engaged. After your 3 breaths, back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. High in your fingertips of your blocks so we get that spine nice and straight. What's the spine want to do? Here's the misalignment. We're not trying to reinforce this, right? That's the misalignment of our day. We're trying to get the spine back to Tadasana, to neutral. So that's where the height will help. Now we want to work the legs. So we're pushing down, right? And we're hugging in, front to back, side to side. We're drawing that left hip forward a little bit. Now we got to play, and they got to be opposing forces because they're opposites, right? Two different sides. So on this left thigh, you're lifting up. But on the right one, you're trying to soften it down so it gets parallel as close as you can with the floor. Now, keep pushing down, keep hugging in. Chakras, from root chakra, pull your pelvic floor up. Pull your belly in. Shudders, heart, throat, gaze like you're looking up you're looking out in front of you right now. Reach through the crown of the head, and then inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana, one crescent. As you come up with intention, like you're holding 20-pound weights as the arms go up overhead. Now re-square that left hip forward like you're hugging to the inside of your right thigh. Now go back to the chakras, from root to crown, reach up. Now curl back in that pose a little bit. Come forward in the lead knee so it stacks up on top of the ankle. Yep. Now let the back of the heart lift up through the front of the chest. One more breath. And then exhale your hands down, step back, downward dog. Work on your breath, not my voice. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Exhale, lower back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank, back to downward dog. Go back to the breath. When you're ready, reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. So hug that knee to the chest. We worked on that this week, right? Getting those hip flexors to engage. We do a lot of stretching of hip flexors in yoga. We got to engage them too. That's you pulling your knee to your chest as that leg is going through. Now take a breath, get the foundation, so the knee's on top of the ankle. We want the knee to track the second toe, so the one next to your big toe. So if your knee's falling in, widen it out. If it's blowing out the side, hug it in a little bit. Then start pushing down. Then start pulling the front heel back and the back toes forward. Keep hugging the shins in. So you're pulling the energy in your legs, right? The weight should be in your legs. Lots of power in your legs. Fingers are just there to feel like stability. Now reach the heel back, reach the knee forward, reach the crown of the head. And keeping all that power, inhale, come up, Vira one crescent. Keep sweeping the back heel out. It's going to try to do this on you. So sweep the heel, then the hip comes forward, so we're hugging in. Then we go up. Then maybe we curl back into the pose. But we go up and back, not back and down. Yep. One more breath. Soften your face. Yes. Exhale the hands down. Step back. Downward dog. Move through one vinyasa. Squeeze those shoulders back in that cobra. Keep your hands down. Swivel to the outside of the right foot and the inside of the left. Open up that left side body again. Inhale, come back to center. Keep the hands down. Swivel to the outside of the left foot, inside of the right. Keep pushing back towards downward dog, though. That's kind of that's the action we want here. And then you feel that right side. Inhale, come back to center. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Exhale, lower back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog. Nice, y'all. Good pace. Look forward. Bend your knees. Step or jump between your hands. Swing your arms up. Take a nice big reach. Pull that belly in, sit bones down so that lumbar spine's nice and puffed up. Now keep the legs charged. Reach up through your thumbs. Now maybe curl back a little bit. Feel that peel come up from the pubic bone to the abdominal wall, through your chest, your neck, your arms, up and out of the fingertips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the tops of your thighs. Sit back. You want the heels of your hands right here at the crease of your hip. And you're persuading a little space by pushing your hands down. Yep. Belly's in, shutters closed. If you're not sure what your shutters are, right here. Shutters want to blow open, you got to close them. Push down, rise up, swing the arms up. Right hand grabs the left wrist, take that side bend to the right. You could plug that right leg up if you want to work the balance. Then on the left side of your ribs, we did this earlier on the mat. We're going to do it standing. On an inhale, breathe your ribs to where the ceiling and the wall meet at the left side of the room. Yep. Then go ahead and curl even deeper to the right. There's that big peel. Inhale, come back up, swap the hands, swap the leg if you want. Take the hip out to the right a little bit as we take that side bend to the left. Head and throat back, arms back. Then take that big breath. Right side of the ribs are where the ceiling and the wall meet at the right side of the room, and then peel off to the left. Nice, y'all. Inhale, come up, release the hand and the foot, fold, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, half fold, Uttanasana A. So balance the weight in the feet, heels the ball of the foot, inner and outer edge of the foot. So inner and outer edge for almost all of us is going to be lift the inner arches up and bring a little more weight to the outer edge of the foot. Now build that up the leg. So sweep the inner heels out, hug the shins in, pull your kneecaps to your waist, pull your heels to your butt. Now the legs are fired. As you look forward, drag your fingers back to you to peel your spine forward and then fold into the pose. Right, so we don't just collapse into forward fold. We build into forward fold. It's easy to collapse, right? No doubt about it. Your body is never looking for the alignment. It's always looking for the path of least resistance. You have to put the alignment into the posture, right? By staying with your breath and setting foundations and engaging and then expressing. Right? Our bodies are lazy. They don't want to do shit. Our minds, they want to do everything, right? Think of how many plans you could come up with. But our heart kind of keeps it all in balance, right? That's what brings it together. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, sit back chair pose, Utkatasana. Butts go back first before the knees bend. That way we get those pelvic stabilizers on. Now pull the belly in the shutters. Now lift the arms and sit back deeper. Now charge those legs, pull the belly in. See, sit bones are gently reaching down, not up. That's why the lumbar is nice and safe. Sit back deeper. Hug the beach ball between your forearms. Yes, sit back deeper. Push down, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Work that pose. Build it up through the legs. Build it up through the spine. And then fold into the pose. And notice how you're going to keep working a little further, a little closer to the floor. Maybe you could lower the block a little bit. Maybe your hands are starting to touch the floor. Maybe some of you are going palms flat. Wherever you want to play. Play with your practice. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back. Downward dog. Move through one vinyasa. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up bent arm to bent knee, extended side angle. Utthita Parsvakonasana. So we want to be on the balance beam. The balance beam means your front heel's in line with your back arch. As compared to this, right? It's in front. We want to have that lined up. Bring that arm in front, plug it in, sweep that on the cheek. Yeah, this is the common tendency I see. This way. Yeah, we want to make that line right up the leg, up the side body, up the arm. Keep rooting that thigh back on the left side. Yep. Then as you go sit bone to heel or sweep your heel and the knee starts to come out, play with it. Maybe the hand goes down to the block or the floor. Pull the belly in. Now start to rotate. Take the top of the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward. Start to look up towards your arm. Yep. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 2. Then push that front leg straight. Get nice and tall here. Hinge at the right side of the hip. Come into Trikonasana, triangle. So if the hand's in the inside of the foot, a little more accessible, a little more therapeutic. If it's to the back of the foot, a little more challenging. It's not a right or wrong. It's just what feels better in the pose. Yes. If you look up, you start to challenge the balance even a little bit more. Yes. Push into that front foot. Inhale, come up tall. Bend into the lead knee, warrior 2. Spin the hands down to the floor. Spin the back heel up, downward dog. Nice, y'all. Stay with your breath. Right? It's easy to be like, I'm out of here. Right? That's not what you want. You want to go out the same way you came in, right? Conscious, focused, in tune. But remember, what's your body saying to you? Let's get the hell out of here, right? Let's stop. You got to stay with the breath. You got to keep setting yourself up for success. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up extended side angle, side 2. Like for all of us, right? This wants to happen. You got to go this way. Like you're sticking your butt back on that right side. Micro bend your knee. Plug in. Sweep that bicep up. Yeah. Now see, this wants to happen, that side crescent. We want to try to come to Tadasana. So open up that left side body by engaging the right side. Then maybe the hand goes down to the block or the floor. Then maybe we play with rotating open that little bit. Now keep breathing. Yep. Push into that front heel. Come up tall. Straighten the front leg. Hinge at the left side of the hip. Triangle. Yeah, spread your fingers. This shit's far from connection, right? The connection's way back here. So if we ignite this, now all of a sudden it gets light, it gets controllable. Yes, and then we play. Maybe we look up. Yep, top of the ribs back, bottom of the ribs forward. Breathe, soften your face. Push into the front heel, come up tall. Bend into the lead knee. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Then spin the hands down to the floor. Spin that back heel up. Downward dog. Nice, y'all. So we're starting to link things together, right? We're upping the challenge a little bit. That's the goal. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Remember the 2 seconds. Inhale, drive forward to plank for 2 seconds, or however long your breath is. And then push back, right? You feel how long that shit is? It's easy to just, boom, forward and back. That's not with the breath. Keep it going. We're working a little more of a dynamic opener now on the arms and the chest and the side bodies. One more. We'll meet back in downward dog. Exhale, lower your knees, sit back on your heels. Just take a little break, grab a drink, wipe your face off if you want. Whatever feels good. Child's pose, Vajrasana, wherever you want to be. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, all fours, or work your way up from child's pose. We'll meet all fours. Turn the hands out. External rotation. We'll get that little forearm, bicep. Lighten the pec here. Then push your hands down. And you feel this nice stretch come up here. But look at this. Belly button's in. Shutters are closed. What wants to happen? That. Right? Of course. But we got to work that abdominal wall to start to support that lumbar spine. And then inhale, unwind, sit back on your heels, give that little like spin through your wrists, right? You feel all this opening. Then inhale, come up, exhale, hands down, all fours, take a breath. When you're ready, step back to plank. And then back to downward dog. When you're ready, work through one vinyasa. That's the pace. Keep it slow. Yep, keep it slow. The idea is the longer you can lengthen your breath out, the more adjustments you can do in the pose, right? In this instance, 2 seconds is a long time. Sometimes in life, 2 seconds isn't that long, right? But here, there's a lot of shit you can adjust in 2 seconds. Roll to the outside of the right foot, stack the left foot on top or in front, come into side plank. Inhale, come back to center, place the hand down, push back. Take a breath, roll to the outside of the left foot, stack the right foot on top or in front. Yep. Inhale, come back to center. Now work it on your own. 2 more each side, alternating side planks. Yep. Then let the inhale come back to center. Push back, swap over to side 2. Control your start, your stop, and your hold, right? We can accelerate, we can decelerate, we can stabilize. We worked this a few weeks ago. Pull the chest into the arm as you come back to plank from side plank. Then after you do your 3, we'll meet back in downward dog. Nice, y'all. Good control. We'll meet back in downward dog. From downward dog, reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up, warrior 2. Not a lot of chill at all in warrior 2, right? Pretty fiery pose. Lots of muscle energy. Muscle energy actually dominates the pose. The only organic energy there really is like reaching out, right? Breathing and expanding and bringing our gaze right over our middle finger, right? The rest of our body, full on. Now bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, then bow to the inside of that right thigh, humble warrior. Look to the front left corner of your mat so the spine stays long. Feel how the chin wants to fall to the midline? Don't let it. Keep the spine long. Now, start to take the arms maybe like up towards your head to intensify that stretch. Yep. Release the hands down to the floor, spin the back heel up, downward dog. Take a breath. Reach the left leg straight back, step it through, lunge, spin the back heel, come up warrior 2 side 2. Remember, work on your breath, not my voice. I try to stay ahead of you. Powerful, right? Like if I come up to you, I push your hand up, you're hugging down. I push down, you're hugging up, right? There's that much power. I try to push back, you're hugging forward, right? That's how much power there is. Coming to that lead knee. There it is. Now, when the hands go behind the back, if the left pinky was under, right pinky this time. So swap the hand hold, the uncomfortable side for sure. Then bow to the inside of that left thigh. Then look to the front right corner of your mat. You're going to feel that work between your shoulder blades, like from your head to your butt. That's your spine extending. That's what we're looking for. When your belly crunches, it's flexing. We're trying to go the other way. Now, as you pull your hands apart, all the energy is going to run up the arms, and then you could take them up overhead. It'll feel even freer with that engagement. And then release the hands down to the floor, spin the back heel up, downward dog. Nice, y'all. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a big reach. Draw the belly in and lengthen those sit bones down and maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. All right, spread the toes on your right foot. Bend your left knee. Grab your ankle, your foot, or your strap. Standing quad stretch. We'll go a little like baby dancer, those who want to play with the extension a little bit, okay? But first and foremost, we're trying to get this quad to stretch. So before you pull your heel to your butt, right, like this, let's neutralize the pelvis, and you'll feel how just doing that will change the stretch. So to neutralize the pelvis, you want to lean back and get your right heel nice and heavy. The ball of my foot is rooted, but I can move my toes. I cannot move my heel. Now from here, pull belly button to spine and bring your sit bones towards like the back of your knees. And you're going to neutralize your pelvis, and you're going to feel the stretch get better. Now draw the heel towards the sit bone. Yep. Now we're here in the standing quad stretch. You can stay here. Awesome. You want to go with the baby dancer. The right arm comes in front. Plug the arm in. Now don't worry about kicking the leg back. Hinge at the hip as you're reaching forward. Keep the heel heavy on that right foot. It's going to try to come to the toes. Don't let it. Now when you feel you're all the way out, pull your hand into your foot, but then kick your foot back into your hand. But keep hugging to the inside of that right thigh so the hip doesn't peel open. Yep, one more breath. Inhale, come up. Release the leg, bring the knee in front. Take the arms up. Yep. Bring the hands behind the thigh. Reach the heel out. Keep the hip lower in like external rotation. Out, seam, down. Yep, one more breath. And release. How'd that go? Pretty good?
No.
It was silent, so that's usually a good sign. There's no like crash going on. All right, let's swap side two. Like remember, like put it in perspective. What are we asking ourselves to do right now? We're standing in the middle of class. We're going to stand on one leg. We're going to hold our other, right? And we're going to start doing shit like reaching out and kicking our leg back. That's a lot, right? So remember that. Don't ever let balance piss you off. Just play. Come on, let's try side two. So spread your toes and get that foundation, because without a foundation, we're not building anything, right? That's not going to crumble. Strong foundation, we can go as high as we can. Now, first thing we're going to do, whatever your side two is. Yeah, right ankle or whatever your side two is. Now, belly in, sit bones down. And you already feel the stretch starting to happen. Then the heel starts drawing towards the sit bone, and it gets better. Then we bring the arm in front if we want. We plug in. Then we hinge. Notice how your toes want to grip the mat. Don't let it. Keep your heels heavy. Yeah, so keep like reaching that right leg back behind you. Then when you're ready, kick the leg back, but keep hugging to the inside of that left thigh. Now inhale, come up. Release the leg. Bring it in front. Keep the sacrum back, top of your pelvis. It wants to do this way. Then the heel's heavy. Then maybe we look up. We start to play with the balance that little bit. Then when you're ready, bring the hands behind the thigh. Kick the leg out. See, this wants to happen. I got to take the out seam down. And as I take the out seam down, the kneecap points straight up to the sky, toes straight up to the sky. One more breath. And then release. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes like, just like sometimes it's like, shit, yeah, right? And sometimes like, That's balance, right? All right, set it up. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, big reach. Maybe look up that little bit, maybe curl back that touch. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands out in front of you. Reach the right leg straight back, standing split. So keep reaching your right heel back to the wall behind you. So you feel your left heel get real heavy and you can move your toes on your left foot. Now you want to hit the twist here. Keep the right hand down, draw the left elbow back. Maybe reach up to the sky. But keep lifting from the inner edge of the thigh so that right hip doesn't want to like peel up on you. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center. When you're ready, lower the right leg, take a breath. As you reach the left leg straight back, lift from the inner upper edge of the thigh. If we reach from the outside of the hip, it's going to peel away from the inside of that right thigh. So we're going to lose the foundation here. Then reach your left heel back so your right heel stays nice and heavy. And then if you want to hit the twist, the left hand stays down, the right elbow draws back. Maybe we start to reach up. Breathe. Soften your face on this one. That's a different challenge, right? Inhale, come back to center, then lower the leg. Then walk the hands back in. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, big reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through your vinyasa 3 times. So flow through a little bit. Nice pace, y'all. Yes. All right, see, now you're feeling that rhythm. We'll meet back in downward dog when you're finished with your vinyasas. Then from here, from downward dog, take your feet wide, walk your hands back, come to Malasana, squat pose. So if your heels aren't down, just roll up your mat or put the blanket underneath your heels. That way you have a foundation you can root down into. This little divot right here, all right, that's where we want to put the back of our arm. Now hug in first. Now push the elbows away to stretch. Pull your pelvic floor up so it's not hanging. Yep, pull that into your belly. Pull that up into the shutters. Yeah, now drive your elbows down into your knees and you can feel your spine start to come up. Go back to that pelvic floor, pull it up again. Yep, now breathe. Now we can stay here, right? We're in a good place. If you want to work crow, you're going to lift your hips up. Your knees right now are on the outside of your arms, so you can stack them a little more on the back of the arms if that helps. Then you're going to walk your feet to the midline so your big toe mounds are touching. Then you're going to look forward and you can start to bring the weight forward. You're going to notice that your fingertips are turning white as you're clawing them down into the floor. There's lots of claw. Then as the feet start to get light when you bring the weight forward, pull your heels to your butt and then push your hands down into the floor. You got to shift the weight, right? There's way more weight down here because these are our prime movers than there's going to be up here. So we got to bring up, right? Balance isn't always equal. So you got to bring more weight forward to get all this to come up. And then we'll meet on our knees. So once you come down, we'll meet on our knees. All right, take your right leg, cross it over your left. Then take your feet apart, then sit back between your heels. Now reach down to your left butt cheek, pull it back and out to the side so we widen. That's the face I make too. Then do that to the right side. You feeling that stretch back there? This is kind of that spot. You feeling that a little bit back here? Yeah. Now keep hugging in. Feel how the knees want to splay apart? This is my tight spot in my hips, right? Think of your hip complex. You got adductors, quads, you got TFL and IT band, you got glutes, you got hamstrings, right? All these muscles that are up in here. For me, these are the tight ones. So what wants to happen is my knees want to pull apart like this, right? So I got to keep hugging in. If you feel like they're pulling apart too much, you're going to sit up on the blanket or the bolster. Now, nice and tall. Then you can hinge forward just a little bit, and we'll intensify that stretch a little bit. If you want to stay up straight, stay up straight. If you're hinging forward, your chest goes first. What wants to go first? Chin, right? Misalignment of life. So we're back this way, chest leads the parade. So opposing forces, right? Throat back, chest forward. And then inhale, come up, swap side two. So you could break dance over into side two. Or you could swap. But see, before I go back, I make sure I wedge the front of my thigh in the back of my leg. Then I take the feet apart and then I slowly sit back. But see how my knees want to pull? Because this is my tight area. Now go to the bottom side, the right side first. Pull the sit bone back and out. Yep, then do the same thing to the left side. It should feel like you widen your sit bones, right? Blossom the back body or some shit like that, or widen your crack, right? Like that's what's kind of happening. Then sit up tall, yeah, and then slowly hinge. Gluteal fold, yeah, we could say that too. Activate from the feet. Up the legs, Still with the core here, right? Because I got to keep using the belly and the shutters to sit up tall. I got to activate those muscles in my upper back to sit up tall. Then I can hinge into the pose. Right? Fold, I can control. Collapsing, I cannot, right? We want to control all these movements. And then inhale, come up. Unwind those legs. Spin around all fours. Take the right knee back, take the right leg back, just open up the knee and the hip. And then lower it down. Take the left leg back. And then lower it down. Take a breath. Step back to plank. Keep your bellies in. Remember, your shoulders should be on top of your wrist crease, and you should be in dorsiflexion, which means your toes are closer to your shins, your heels are reaching back to the wall behind you. Now keep pushing down. Keep sweeping the inner heels out. Keep hugging the shins in. Don't lose the belly. Don't lose the shutters. We're about halfway. Now, last night I offered to y'all, if you want to kick it up a little bit, you could do things like lift your right heel up, then lower it down, then the left heel up. You want to go even further, plank balance, right arm up, left leg back. Yep. Then exhale, lower it, left arm up, right leg back. Exhale, lower it, keep it going. If you're holding plank, awesome, keep pushing down. If you're in plank balance, balance your sides out. So if you started with the right, finish with the left. And then everybody slowly lower to your bellies for 3, 2, slow, 1, all the way down. Nice, y'all take your hands underneath your head, turn your head to one side. You could do some butt wiggles or some reverse windshield wipers, make the low back feel comfortable. And just breathe, right? Catch a little rest. Come to neutral, swap the hands, swap the head. So if left hand was on top, right hand this time, and then turn your head to the other side. If you want to keep going with the butt wiggles or the reverse windshield wipers, go for it. And then come to neutral. Interlace your hands behind your back. Flick your toenails into the floor. Charge your legs up. Belly in. Shutters closed. Go forward as you inhale, lift the chest. So we're going forward and up so we don't just cram into that lumbar. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come forward and up. Yep. Exhale, lower. Let's do 5. So 3 more, your breath. We're getting a little more dynamic today, right? After your 5th one, release the hands down to the floor. Take the hands under your head. Turn your head to the one side. You could do those butt wiggles again or the windshield wipers, whatever feels good. All right, we're going to do those one more time. Inhale your head back to center. When you take the hands behind your back, if the left pinky was under, right pinky this time. Charge those legs up. When you're ready, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. Keep reaching the hands to the wall behind you. Exhale, lower it down. 3 more. Get your 5. Nice control, yo. Yeah, don't rush. This shit's hard, right? No doubt about it. It's one of those moments. It's challenging. We don't shy away from that, right? We dive right in. When you're done with your 5, release the hands. Swap the hands as you take your head to the other side. Whatever feels good between the windshield wipers or the butt wiggles or just hanging out. And come to neutral. All right, then from here, just push your knees down, push back to all 4s, and then spin around to a seated position. baby cradle. So we're going to take our right leg, right? We're crossing, and the left we're going to bring to the crease of our elbow with our foot, or we're going to take our right hand underneath our foot and our left hand underneath our calf. And we can sit up nice and tall. We could be here. See how my foot wants to sickle? So I want to push out of the big toe mound and I want to pull the pinky toe side of the foot back. When I do that, I bring the ankle back to neutral, but I fire up the low leg so I protect the knee here. I get some energy coming up to protect that knee joint. Then sit up nice and tall, and as the name implies, you can kind of go side to side here, right? Now we're in the back of the hip again. So some of you are going to want to stay here. If you want to hit Asta Vakrasana, the arm balance, you're going to lift the left leg up, and you're going to take it high on your arm. And I'm going to squeeze my arm between my leg. Otherwise, it's going to slip down. Then I'm going to take my hands down just like downward dog. Same hand placement. Right ankle over left, then feet to the outside of your hands. Now you're going to bend both elbows, because this is what I always see. This right one wants to lock out. You got to bend it. As you lower your chest, you're going to squeeze your thighs together. You're going to wedge the back of the leg on the back of your arm. Then you can release the leg. Pull the knee towards the elbow. Hinge at the hip. Front leg goes forward. Back leg goes to where the ceiling and the wall meet. I don't know if it'll go back, but let's see. Ah! There we go. Ugh. Woo! That shit's a lot, right? But that's the game. I tell you all the time, you'll do a pose, it'll be really challenging. And then you'll get it. And yoga will be like, great job, here's something else. Right? It's not impressed. It's just like, great, more to do. Right? Great job, way to do the work. But there's more, right? And there's always going to be more. And that's why you got to think of your practice as just that, a practice. Right? Not like, shit, I can't do that shit, right? No, that's not what we were looking for. We're like, you know what? If I've never done this before and I went here today, that's success, right? I'm further than I was last time I practiced. And then I can build off this next time. Come on, try side two. Again, I know we all want to be good at the shit that we do, right? I do too. But you just got to keep it in relation. It's easy to get ahead of yourself, right? And sit up nice and tall. And then a little bit of side to side. Now, don't get it twisted. That was my good side. Right? This side will be a little more challenging, no doubt. We look symmetrical, but we are not. Right? Your one side of your body does something totally different. One side of your body is stability. The other side tends to be mobility. All right, here we go. You can lift the leg. You can stay here. Awesome place. If you want to lift up, the arm goes underneath. I squeeze. My hands just like downward dog. Here's the core. Left over right. Feet to the outside of the hand. Bend both elbows. Go ahead, Trina. Squeeze those legs. Then you release the leg. You go towards the elbow. You hinge. You pull the knee back towards the elbow.
You got it.
Beat it through. Squeeze the legs. Bend the elbows. Right? Today was a day it went good. Which way are you? Yeah. Yep.
Yes, the left.
Yes, the left knee to the elbow. Yep. And then that takes a little bit of time. That was certainly one thing where I was like, and then one day, what happened? It went bloop, and I went up, right? And that's just how it goes. One moment is really challenging, and the next, it just all comes together. All right. You can demo it again? Go ahead, show.
Just trying it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
All right, so see where we're at? Look how we got to bend the elbows and keep the shoulders back. Keep breathing. Yep, look, here comes the bend. Keep going, keep bending, keep bending. Go forward. Yes, yes, yes.
And that happened.
Awesome. All right, grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. We'll go upside down. Plenty of room for everybody up on the wall, so some of you are going to want to come up front. You can use that. Some of you are going to want to stay in the middle of the room. Stay in the middle of the room if you want. I know some of y'all invert in the middle of the room. If that's your flavor, go for it. If you're at home, you don't have the wall to kick up on, Lay on your back, bend your knees, and then you can interlace that hand behind the thigh, take a bunch of breaths, and you can swap side too. If you are in the studio or at home, it's not your day to invert. You can always go legs up the wall or do a pose that feels good to you. Are these your people? You want to get in with them?
Oh, okay, yeah.
We can, here, I can move these. And we can sneak a little more space here.
See if I could do it on the window wall.
Yeah, let me just sneak these out of here, and then we'll have a little more space. There you go. Actually, these can go right up in here for now. Okay, I'm going to talk you into downward dog and L pose. If you want to do handstand, headstand, tripod, pinch, anything else you want to mess with, you're more than welcome to, okay? Trina's going to be walking around right away, so she'll help you get into anything. Once I get everybody up, I'll come around too if you need a hand, okay? You might see the inversion chair that we brought up. I've been talking about this for the couple weeks, so this is it in action. When you're learning how to do your inversions, this is just going to give you a little bit connection to where you need to set up, right? What it's like to go ass over head and be in control. So if that's something that you want to try, hit Trina up. She'll bring it over to you. She'll show you how it goes. Okay? If you're going to stick with me, all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. If you're going to go on your own, whenever you're ready. So set up that all fours, nice and solid. Low mountain. When you're ready, lift the knees and the hips, come to a short downward dog. Then step 1 foot up the wall, and then the second foot up the wall. If your knees are bent, you're in downward dog inverted. If your legs are straight, you're in L pose. So those are two different poses. We did standing split today. So some of you might want to take that one leg up in your L pose. All right, we made that shape. It's going to be a little more accessible for you. Play with it. So when you go up, right, from here, when you come down, go knees here, then look forward, and you can go back to that crow, and you could link that crow back up. And then you could kind of do like crow to tripod, up, down, back, and you kind of turn into like a little inversion vinyasa.
Yeah, thank you.
I just seen you doing it, it's just an offering. You know, don't feel forced. It was like, oh wow, that's really close, check, maybe try that, yeah. Play around, right? See what's yoga's challenge to you right now? Can you be cool, calm, and collected while your ass is overhead? Right? That's the idea. It's pretty interesting, right? It's a fun little piece of equipment. You got it? It looks awesome. Looks beautiful. Do you get there by wishing? No. You changed your schedule the past couple, right? The past couple weeks to get here. That's the work. Like, if you're still thinking that like everybody gets the trophy thing, that is not going to serve you in life, right? What's going to serve you in life is that you do the work and you get the reward, right? When you work out, you get stronger, your body builds, and you move forward in it, right? That's the only way. The other one sounds great, but it's just not feasible. Like, think of yoga was the trophy that everybody got, right? Then you got to start to do the work for that. That's how the game is played. I wish I had a pocket full of like magic yoga dust and I could be like, poof, handstand in the middle of the floor, right? That's not the case. The case is build up, build up, build up, right? Now, when you feel like your legs are going to fall that way, you're going to push into your elbows more. And it's going to bring your legs more this way. When you feel like you're going to go, if you were going to go over, you're going to push down, right? And that's going to bring you back that way.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that way, as you're balancing, you can start to feel do the load. Make sense? If it was on your hands, it would be like here and here. And then you'd go back and forth to balance. We're just talking about balance, right? And how you're counterbalancing. So like in a handstand, okay? Pretend the wall's here. And I go to kick up on the wall, right? When I want my feet to come back this way, I'm going to push down into my fingertips, and it's going to push me back this way. When I need to go back this way, I'm going to push down into my knuckle pads. And that's what's going to bring me back and forth, right? I don't balance through this, right? It's here, and I just work this. Like, can I squeeze in somewhere? Right here. So, you can't really see me there. You mind? Is it okay? Can I use your mat? Okay. So I'd be here. I'm just going to go up quick, okay? So I'm up. I push down. I go chest forward to get my arms to go up overhead, right? Now I'm going to look to my belly because that lets me hit my core again, belly and shudders. Then I take one leg off, and then I'm going to scissor the other leg off, and you're going to watch my hands do this. So as I start to balance, I'm going to start working my hands. Right? And every time I'm going to fall this way, I try to push my knuckle pads down. And every time I'm going to come off the wall, I get to push my fingertips down. If I was in like forearms, I'd have to push my wrist and my elbow. Right? And that's how I'm going to counterbalance what's going on. Make sense? Easier said than done? Shit, yeah. But that's the game, right? So if you need to kick up one more time because that just like opens something up for you, go for it. Otherwise, we'll meet on our backs. All right? We'll meet on our backs. Better than a water bottle. All right, on our backs. I'll talk you into bridge and wheel. Okay, we'll do two. You can play wherever you want. First one, I'll talk you into bridge, then wheel. But you know, supported bridge, the block goes under the sacrum. If you're not sure what that is, it's where you take the block like this. All right, you're going to put it right here. We tend to go low and medium. I know some of you go high. If that's your flavor, go for it. Where your crack is too low. Where your lumbar spine is too high. It's that solid part on the back of your pelvis. That's your sacrum. That's where we want to put the block. Now, here we go. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor. Head and shoulders are back. Sacrum's neutral. Pelvis is neutral, so sacrum's flat. When you're ready, charge the legs, charge the core, slowly lift the hips, come to bridge. You should really get more power. Keep pushing. Yeah, move your feet back a little bit too. Yeah. We're going to get the power coming from the legs, right? It's going to hold. You're going to feel those glutes engage, but don't over-engage them. You don't want to try to hammer your pubic bone or your junk up to the ceiling. That's going to be too far, right? You got to still keep those thighs rooted back. Now take your shoulders under a little bit deeper, like you're wiggling. We've interlaced our hands today, so if that shape you want to make again, go for it. Now, gently push your feet down and forward. It's going to feel like the back bend goes underneath those shoulder blades nice and deep. Then the knees reach forward, the upper palate of the mouth reaches back so the throat opens up. Then stay engaged as you lower down. Release the hands if they're clasped. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch, one hand on your heart, one hand on your low belly. If you're getting anything in your back bend, just call me over and I'll give you a hand, figure out what's going on. All right, inhale, open the knees, reset the feet. Number two, arms along the sides. Here we go. Charge those legs up. Core, slowly lift the hips. If you want to go to wheel, place your hands wide to the edges of your mat, and you want to turn your hands out. So your elbows come in line with the outside of your shoulders. Then you can plug the shoulders back so we get a deep integration there. Then push down and come up. If you need more curve, lift your heels up. It'll lengthen, right, the curve and make it more accessible. But keep those inner heels sweeping out. Yes. Maybe pump your heart towards the wall that you're looking at. And the shoulders slide even deeper on the back. Now control it as you lower down. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch. If your right hand was on your heart, left hand on your heart, opposite hand on your low belly. Nice, y'all. And then windshield wiper the knees side to side. Then come to neutral. Hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Make a couple small circles. Come to neutral with the knees bent. Let them fall to the right. Root that left shoulder down to the mat for the twist. You can always put the block between your knees. That's going to help stack the left hip up on top of the right. Or you could put the block underneath the outside of the right thigh, which will help bring the floor up a little higher and make the twist a little more accessible. All right, go sit bone down, like you're lengthening this way. So this stacks this way, right? So think this way.
Even if my shoulder.
Well, that's the challenge. Yeah. So think hold the shoulder, but try to lengthen. The action is pulling knees here, so this can go down, and then lengthen to kind of get this, to get it to stack. I mean, you certainly ride the deeper edge of these poses. So inhale, come back to center. Control it as the knees fall to the left. Keep the right shoulder rooted down. It's like we're just talking about trying to stack the knees up, right? So you got to get that right hip now to come forward. So if you hug the knees to your chest, then lengthen the sit bones like down towards the backs of your knees. And that'll help start to get that stack going on. But you got to work that flexion in the hips, so like pulling the knees towards your chest. That's the first part of the pose. That way then the sit bones reach forward. And then inhale, come back to center. Take the legs out straight, reach the arms up overhead, take a big stretch. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Hug your right knee to your chest, interlace the hands behind the thigh, reach the heel up to the sky. Keep the back of your left thigh rooted down to the mat. It's probably going to try to fly up. So you might have to lower your right heel towards the floor to get the left one to root, then start to draw that right leg closer towards your chest. Yeah. And then bend the knee, lower down, right leg out, left knee in. Interlace the hands behind the thigh, reach the left heel to the sky. If your knee was bent, that would be more accessible, right? So that will soften it up a little bit. Play with what feels good. Keep sweeping that. This one's tricky. You got to make sure you're sweeping the heel so the toes point straight overhead, but you got to keep the out seam going forward. So it's really external rotation, but that's in the top of the thigh. Think of where the heel is. That's all the way. That's 2 joints away. Bend the knee, lower down, take the legs out straight, reach the arms up overhead. Maybe we could geek out on that next week. I'll break that down. We'll talk about that a little bit. Then hug the knees to your chest, take the knees wide. Happy baby. Knees are wide, so they're wider than your shoulders. Sacrum is flat. What wants to happen? Your butt wants to fly to the sky, right? We can't let that happen. We want to go sit bones down. Sacrum is flat. The knees are nice and wide, so you can let go of your toes and just hold the outside of your knees or your shins. And then pull your knees towards your ears. And there'll be an opening in the back of the hip, on the inside of the thighs. You could reach one leg out or both legs out. You can rock side to side, whatever your flavor is. And then inhale the knees to center. Exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'm going to talk everyone through laying flat, but you're more than welcome to do a variation if you like. As the legs stretch out, let the feet gently roll open. Let the arms come along the side so the shoulders settle back. The open palm turns to the sky. Let your head rest back. Maybe let your eyes close. Let the tongue soften from the roof of the mouth. Let the body get heavy. Let the mind turn back to the breath. Let each exhale clear and remove and make space. Let the inhale draw in something new. Change. The heart opens as it gets ready to move the practice from the mat into the yoga of life. As much fun as we have on our mats and our asana, the yoga is also for everything we do throughout our day. The energies that we put out, the energies we're willing to receive, the way we move through our day, the actions that we create. Because whether it's on the mat or in the yoga of life, whenever a challenge comes up, we take a breath. We set a foundation, we engage, we express the best that we can in that moment. With each breath, a new moment, another opportunity. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feeling the breath as it washes over us from our toes to our fingers, to the crown of our head, to our hearts. We reawaken that better version of ourselves. As the fingers and the toes wiggle, maybe the arms and the legs stretch or reach, we move in a way that feels good to us. Taking our time, moving slowly, being conscious and aware. When you're ready, you can hug your knees to your chest and just roll to the right side. Take your hands underneath your head and make a little pillow. Just give yourself a few breaths here to reacclimate. When you're ready, you can push your hands down and come up to a seated position. We'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands in front of our hearts. One more time to seal in our practice, our time together with our Kula, our yoga family. Together the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work, that determination, that challenge, the love and the support you always give each other, it's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, crew. Good to see everyone. Thank you as always. You know, if you have any questions, grab us before you go. Something feels weird in your body, get me before you go. My arm balance and inversion workshop, October 11th. It's a Friday. It'll be after my Friday class. So it's 6:30 to 8. All right, if you want to hit that up, we'll be here kicking it. If I don't see y'all on Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday next week or Saturday, I'll see y'all soon. Thanks, crew. Trini, you want to talk about your class starting?
Yeah, October 1, not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. We're putting back on the schedule at noon on Tuesday. So if you want to do a lunch class, I would love to see you. Thanks, Larry.
Welcome. Thank you.